The stars used to belong to everyone. Now they belonged to no one. Commander Hyun-woo Kim stood on the observation deck of Luna Base, watching the alien ships patrol the invisible wall that kept Earth trapped. The barrier was clear like glass, but it might as well have been made of steel. No human ship could pass through it. No message could get out. For 30 years, Earth had been a prison. "Sir, another patrol ship is coming," said Captain Jamin Lee, looking at his screen. "Same pattern as yesterday." Hyun-woo nodded. The aliens were very careful. They never got too close. They never stayed too long. But they were always there, watching, waiting. The Vexter Empire had made sure Earth stayed locked away from the rest of the galaxy. "How many people died last week?" Hyun-woo asked. 47. "Sir, food riots in New Tokyo. 3 more in the mining colonies." Jamin's voice was quiet. "People are getting desperate." Hyun-woo closed his eyes. When he was a young man, humans had just learned to travel between stars. They had built colonies on 12 worlds. They had met other alien races. Everyone thought the future would be bright. Then the Galactic Council decided humans were too dangerous. "Commander Kim, you need to see this." The voice came from the communication system. It was Dr. So-young Park, the chief scientist. She sounded excited and scared at the same time. "What is it, Doctor?" "The barrier is doing something strange. Can you come to Lab 7? Hyun-woo and Jamin walked through the metal halls of Luna Base. The base was old now. Everything was old. For 30 years, humans had been cut off from the galaxy. No new technology came in. No new ideas. Earth's science had slowed down. Earth's hope had almost died. Lab 7 was full of computers and screens. Dr. So-young Park was standing in front of a big display that showed Earth. The planet looked beautiful from here. Blue and white and green. But around it was a thin red line that showed where the barrier was. "Look at this," So-young said, pointing to the screen. "The barrier is sending energy somewhere." "What do you mean?" Hyun-woo asked. "I mean it's not just keeping us in, it's also doing something else. The energy is going down into Earth itself." Jamin stepped closer to the screen. "Down where?" "Deep, very deep. Almost to the center of the planet." So-young pressed some buttons, and the image changed. Now it showed Earth from the inside, like someone had cut it in half. Deep underground, there was a strange pattern of lights. "What is that?" Hyun-woo asked. "I don't know, but it's been there for a long time, maybe millions of years. The strange thing is, it's only started glowing since the aliens put up the barrier." Hyun-woo stared at the screen. "You think the barrier is making it glow?" "I think the barrier is feeding it energy, and I think whatever is down there is waking up." The room was quiet for a moment. Outside, another alien patrol ship flew by. Sir Jim said, "Should I tell Admiral Mir?" Hyun-woo thought about it. Admiral Miran Choi was the head of Earth's space fleet. She was also the person who had to make the hard decisions. If there was something strange happening inside Earth, she needed to know. "Yes, tell her to come here." While they waited, So-young showed them more data. The energy going into Earth was getting stronger every day. The thing underground was getting brighter. And there were other strange things happening too. "The barrier isn't just a wall," So-young said. "It's like a machine. A very big machine that surrounds our whole solar system." "What kind of machine?" Hyun-woo asked. "I think it's scanning us, learning about us, and sending all that information down into Earth." Admiral Moran arrived 20 minutes later. She was a small woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. She had been fighting the aliens. For 30 years, she had seen Earth's colonies destroyed. She had watched human ships get turned away from the stars. "Show me," she said. So Young explained everything again. The energy from the barrier. The lights deep inside Earth. The thing that was waking up. "Do you think it's dangerous?" Miran asked. "I don't know. But Commander, I think it's been waiting for something like this to happen." "What do you mean?" "I mean I think it's been waiting for humans to be in trouble. Real trouble. The kind of trouble we're in now." Miran looked at the screen for a long time. "How long do we have?" "Have for what?" "Until people start dying faster than we can feed them. Until the colonies on Mars and Jupiter run out of air. Until Earth becomes a tomb." So-young checked her numbers. "Maybe 5 years, maybe less. And this thing underground might be our only hope. It might be. Or it might kill us all." Hyun-woo spoke up. "What do the aliens want exactly?" Miran's face became hard. "They want us to surrender. Completely. They want us to give up our technology. They want us to become their slaves. They say humans are too violent to be free. And if we don't, they'll slowly tighten the barrier until Earth is crushed." Jamin looked shocked. "They would kill 5 billion people. They would kill 50 billion people if they thought it would make the galaxy safer." The room was quiet again. On the screen, the lights deep inside Earth seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. "There's something else," So-young said. "I've been looking at old records. From before the barrier went up, some of the first human explorers found strange things on other worlds. Old buildings, dead cities, technology that didn't match any known species." "What kind of technology?" "The kind that could build something like this." She pointed to the lights inside Earth. I think there was another species here long ago, maybe millions of years ago, and I think they left something behind. Left what? Behind? I think they left a weapon, a very big weapon, and I think it's designed to turn on when the people of Earth are in danger. Hyan Wu felt a chill run down his back. A weapon that's been sleeping for millions of years. A weapon that's been waiting for us. Outside, the alien patrol ships continued their endless watch. The barrier hummed with energy. And deep inside Earth, something ancient began to stir. What do we do? Jamin asked. Admiral Mirren looked at each of them. We learn everything we can. We prepare for whatever is coming, and we pray that this weapon, if that's what it is on our side. And if it's not, then we die fighting. Just like we always have. As they spoke, the lights inside Earth grew a little brighter, and somewhere in the deep places of the planet, something that had been sleeping for eons began to wake up. The aliens thought they had sealed Earth away from the galaxy, but they had no idea what they had awakened. The real war was about to begin. The first earthquake hit Tokyo at 3:47 in the morning. Dr. Wei-Yun Park was still awake in her lab when the ground started shaking. Coffee spilled across her desk. Computer screens flickered. The lights in Lab 7 went out for 10 seconds. What was that? Jamin asked, running into the room. Soyoung was already checking her instruments. It came from deep underground. Very deep. How deep? 2,000 kilometers down. Right where those lights are. Within an hour, reports came in from all over Earth. The earthquake had been felt everywhere at the same time. That was impossible. Earthquakes didn't work that way. Commander Kim Soyoung said over the radio, "You need to get down here. Now." Hyan Wu arrived at the lab 30 minutes later. He looked tired. Everyone looked tired these days. "The thing underground is moving," Soyoung said without waiting for him to ask. "Look at this." The screen showed Earth from the inside again. The lights were brighter now, much brighter, and they were spreading out from the center, like roots from a tree. "It's growing," Hyan Wu said. "Not growing, waking up. I think it's been asleep for a very long time, and now it's stretching. Like a person getting out of bed. Like a giant getting out of bed." Jamin pointed at the screen. "What are those lines?" The lines were thin streams of light reaching up from the deep lights toward the surface. They looked like fingers trying to touch the sky. "I think they're connecting to something," Soyoung said, "but I don't know what." The second earthquake came 6 hours later. This one was stronger. In New York, 3 buildings fell down. In London, the Thames River changed course for 10 minutes. In Beijing, people reported seeing strange lights in the sky. Admiral Marin called an emergency meeting. The room was full of Earth's top scientists and military leaders. Everyone looked worried. "How bad is it?" Miran asked. "Bad," said Dr. Tejo, the chief geologist. "The whole planet is shaking. But not like normal earthquakes. This is coming from something artificial." "Artificial? I mean man-made or alien-made. The shaking is too regular. Too organized." Soyoung stood up. "I think I know what's happening. The barrier around Earth isn't just keeping us in, it's also scanning us, learning about us, and it's sending all that information down to the thing. Underground. What kind of information? Everything. Our DNA, our technology, our history, our language, everything that makes us human." An older scientist named Dr. Yoon raised his hand. "But why would it want to know about us?" "Because I think it's deciding whether to help us or kill us." The room went quiet. "Help us? How?" Miran asked. "I've been studying the old records, but ones from before the barrier went up. There are stories about a species that used to rule this galaxy. They were called the Protectors. They built weapons to defend worlds against invaders. What happened to them? The same thing that's happening to us. Other species got jealous of their power. They formed a council. They destroyed the Protectors' worlds, one by one." Hyan Wu leaned forward. "You think the thing underground is a protector weapon? I think it's more than that. I think it's a test. The Protectors left it here to see if the next species on Earth would be worthy of their power. And if we're not worthy, then it kills us before we can become a threat to anyone else." The third earthquake was different. It didn't shake the ground. Instead, it made a sound. The sound came from everywhere at once. It was deep and low, like the biggest bell in the world, ringing under the ocean. People all over Earth heard it inside their heads. "Did you hear that?" Jamin asked. Everyone had heard it, but nobody could explain what it was. Soyoung was staring at her instruments. "The energy from the barrier just doubled." "What does that mean?" "It means the thing underground is getting ready to do something big." The sound came again. This time it was different. It sounded like words, but not in any human language. Yet somehow, everyone understood what it meant. "Children of Earth, the time of testing has come." People all over the world stopped what they were doing. They looked up at the sky. They looked down at the ground. They looked at each other. "For millions of years, we have waited. We have watched. We have hoped that you would be different from those who came before." In the lab, Soyoung was typing as fast as she could. "It's broadcasting on every frequency. Radio, television, internet, even thoughts. You are trapped. You are afraid. You are dying. This is the test. Admiral Moran grabbed her radio. All units, report status. Many species have faced this test. Most have failed. They chose to surrender. They chose to serve their captors. They chose to live as slaves. Commander, came a voice over the radio. The alien ships are moving. They're coming closer to the barrier. But some species choose differently. They choose to fight. They choose to grow. They choose to become something greater than what they were. Hyan-Wu looked out the window. In the distance, he could see the alien patrol ships moving in a new pattern. They looked nervous. We are ZEUS. We are the final gift of the protectors. We are judgment and hope and transformation. ZEUS Soyoung whispered. The weapon has a name. The choice is yours, children of Earth. Will you accept the power to defend yourselves? Will you accept the responsibility to defend others? Will you accept the pain of becoming something new? The room shook again, but this time it wasn't an earthquake. It was the sound of something massive, moving deep underground. If you choose yes, you will never be the same. You will have the power to break your chains. You will have the power to reach the stars. You will have the power to protect the weak. Images flashed in everyone's minds. Ships flying faster than light. Weapons that could destroy planets. Technology that could heal any wound. But you will also have the responsibility to use that power wisely. You will become the guardians of this galaxy. You will face enemies you cannot imagine. You will make sacrifices that will break your hearts. The alien ships were definitely moving closer now. Their formation was changing from a patrol pattern to an attack pattern. Choose now. Choose for all humanity. Choose for all the species that will come after you. So-Young looked at the readings on her screen. The energy is building to critical levels. Whatever we decide, we need to decide fast. Do you accept the inheritance of the protectors? Do you accept the power and responsibility of ZEUS? Around the world, people were gathering in the streets. They were looking up at the sky. They were holding hands. They were praying. If you choose yes, speak as one voice. If you choose no, we will sleep again and you will face your fate alone. Admiral Marin looked around the room. We need to contact every government on Earth. This decision has to be made by everyone. There's no time, Hyan-Wu said. Look at the alien ships. They know something is happening. They're getting ready to attack. The test ends in 1 hour. Choose wisely, children of Earth. Choose for all who will come after you. The voice faded. The room was silent except for the sound of machinery and the distant rumble of the thing called ZEUS moving in the deep places of the Earth. What do we do? Jamin asked. So-Young looked at her instruments one more time. We choose, and we pray. We're making the right choice. Outside, the alien ships continued to move closer. And deep underground, ZEUS waited for humanity's answer. The world held its breath. In every city, in every town, in every village, people were gathered together. They stood in streets and parks and public squares. They held their phones and tablets, watching the same message being broadcast everywhere. People of Earth, Admiral Moran's voice came through every speaker on the planet. We have 1 hour to make the most important decision in human history. Commander Hyan-Wu stood beside her in the emergency command center. Through the windows, he could see the alien ships getting closer to the barrier. They were no longer patrolling, they were positioning themselves for attack. The choice is simple, Moran continued. Accept the power of ZEUS and become something new, or remain as we are and face extinction. Dr. Soyoung was watching her instruments. The energy readings were climbing higher every minute. Deep underground, ZEUS was waiting. Sir Jamin said, looking at his screen. I'm getting reports from all over the world. People are voting. Voting? How? Online polls. Text messages. Even just people raising their hands in crowds. Everyone wants to choose. Hyan-Wu nodded. This was how humans did things. Even at the end of the world, they wanted democracy. What are the numbers? 70% say yes, 20% say no. 10% are undecided. On the other side of the room, Dr. Soyoung was studying something on her screen. There's something else, she said. ZEUS is showing me something. What memories? I think they're memories from the protectors. Images flashed on the big screen, cities floating in space. Ships that looked like they were made of light. Beings that looked almost human, but taller and more graceful. They were beautiful. Whispered, more images appeared. The same cities burning, the same ships exploding, the same beings running and hiding and dying. What happened to them? The same thing that's happening to us. Other species got jealous. They formed a council. They said the protectors were too powerful to be free. The Galactic Council, the same one, led by the same species. The Vexter have been destroying powerful races for millions of years. Hyan-Wu felt anger rise in his chest. They've done this before, many times, but the protectors were smart. Before they died, they hid weapons like ZEUS on different worlds. They were waiting for the right species to find them. And they think we're the right species. They think we might be. Outside, the alien ships were moving into final attack positions. The barrier around Earth was starting to glow brighter. Admiral, came a voice over the radio. This is Captain Yan on the space station. The aliens are charging their weapons. Miran grabbed the microphone. All Earth forces, prepare for battle. This is not a drill. But Hyan Wu was looking at something else. On So Young's screen, new images were appearing. They showed what would happen if humans accepted ZEUS. Humans with glowing eyes. Humans who could fly through space without ships. Humans who could think faster than computers. Humans who could heal any injury with their touch. We would become like them, So Young said, like the protectors. Is that good or bad? I don't know, but I know what happens if we say no. The screen showed Earth being crushed by the barrier. Cities collapsing. Oceans boiling. 5 billion people dying in silence. Time is running out, Jamin said. 45 minutes left. Around the world, the votes were still coming in. 75% yes, 20% no, 5% undecided. There's something else, So Young said. ZEUS is asking for volunteers. Volunteers for what? To be the first. To be the bridge between old humanity and new humanity. It needs people who are willing to change first. How many people? Just a few, maybe 10 or 12, but they would never be fully human again. Hyan Wu understood. Someone has to go first. Yes, someone has to take the risk. I'll do it, Jamin said suddenly. Everyone turned to look at him. I'll volunteer, he said again. I don't have a family. I don't have children. If something goes wrong, I'm the best choice. You don't understand, So Young said. You might not survive. Even if you do, you'll be different. Very different. Different how? I don't know, but ZEUS is showing me genetic patterns. It would change your DNA. Change how your brain works. Change everything about you. Jamin was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. My whole life, I've been just another pilot. Just another soldier. This is my chance to be something important. You're already important, Hyan Wu said. Not like this. If I do this, maybe I can help save everyone. The barrier around Earth was getting brighter. The alien ships were almost ready to attack. 30 minutes, ZEUS said, in everyone's minds. Choose now. Around the world, the final votes were coming in. 85% yes. 12% no. 3% undecided. That's enough, Miran said. The people have spoken. She picked up the microphone that would broadcast to the entire world. People of Earth, we have chosen, by a vote of 85%, we accept the power of ZEUS. We accept the responsibility to defend ourselves and others. We accept the pain of becoming something new. The response was immediate. Deep underground, ZEUS began to move. The sound was like thunder that went on forever. The ground shook, but not like an earthquake. It was more like the planet itself was stretching and waking up. Energy levels are spiking, So Young reported. ZEUS is drawing power from the barrier. What's using the aliens' own energy against them? The barrier that was meant to keep us prisoner is now feeding ZEUS. Outside, the alien ships suddenly stopped moving. Their weapons powered down. They were trying to figure out what was happening. I need to go, Jamin said. ZEUS is calling. Me. Go where? Down. There's a shaft opening in the mountains. I need to be there in 20 minutes. Hyan Wu grabbed his arm. Are you sure about this? I'm sure. This is what I was born to do. So Young was still watching her instruments. There are others too. People all over the world are feeling the call. Engineers, scientists, soldiers, teachers. ZEUS is choosing carefully. How many? 15 people, from 15 different countries. They're all heading to connection points. Connection points. Places where ZEUS can reach the surface, they're opening up all over the world. The barrier around Earth was starting to flicker. The alien ships were backing away. 10 minutes, ZEUS said. Volunteers, come to me. Jamin headed for the door. If I don't make it back, tell everyone I was proud to be human. You will make it back, Hyan Wu said. You'll just be something more. As Jamin left, alarms started, ringing all over the base. The barrier wasn't just flickering now, it was changing color, from clear to blue, to silver to gold. What's happening? Miran asked. ZEUS is taking control, So Young said. It's turning the barrier from a prison into a shield. A shield against what? Against them. On the screen, the alien ships were trying to retreat, but they were too late. The barrier was expanding, pushing them back beyond the orbit of Mars. 5 minutes, ZEUS said. The transformation begins. Around the world, 15 people reached 15 connection points. Jamin was one of them. He stood at the edge of a glowing pit in the Korean mountains. The pit was full of light that looked like liquid gold. I'm ready, he said. Are you sure? ZEUS asked in his mind. I'm sure. Change me. Make me into something that can protect Earth. The change cannot be undone. I understand. You will have power beyond imagination, but you will also have responsibility beyond imagination. I accept both. Jamin stepped into the light. Around the world, 14 other people did the same. The transformation had begun. In space, the alien ships were fleeing. On Earth, the barrier was now a golden shield that covered the entire solar system. And deep underground, ZEUS was finally awake. Humanity had made its choice. Now it was time to become something new. The first thing Jamin felt when he opened his eyes was that everything had changed. He was still standing in the Korean mountains, but the pit of golden light was gone. Instead, he was surrounded by a gentle blue glow that seemed to come from his own skin. When he looked at his hands, they were different, stronger. The lines on his palms glowed faintly silver. How do you feel? ZEUS asked in his mind. Different, but still me. Good. You are the first of the new humans. How much do you remember? Jamin thought about it. He remembered his old life, but it felt distant, like watching a movie about someone else. He also had new memories. Knowledge about technology he had never learned, understanding of the galaxy and its history. Information about the enemy. I remember everything, he said, both old and new. Then you know what must be done. Jamin nodded. The Vexter Empire would not give up. They would return with a bigger fleet. They would try to destroy Earth before the transformation could spread to other humans. How long do we have? 3 days. Maybe less. Jamin concentrated and felt himself lift off the ground. Flying felt as natural as walking. He rose into the air and looked down at Earth. The golden shield was still there, but it was different now. It was alive. It was part of him. I need to get back to the base, he said. No need, ZEUS replied. Think of where you want to be. Jamin thought of Luna Base. The world around him flickered, and suddenly he was standing in Lab 7. Dr. Soyoung was there, staring at her instruments. Jamin, she said, looking up. Is that really you? It's me, but different. She looked at him carefully. His eyes were brighter. His skin had a faint glow. When he moved, it was smoother, like he was dancing instead of walking. Are you still human? I think so, but I'm also something more. Commander Hyanwoo and Admiral Miran came running into the lab. They stopped when they saw Jamin report. Miran said, the transformation worked. I can feel ZEUS in my mind. I can feel the other volunteers around the world. We're connected now. Connected how? Like a network. I know what they know. They know what I know. We're 15 people, but we're also one mind when we need to be. Soyoung was checking her instruments. The energy readings are incredible. Each of the volunteers is generating as much power as a small city. What can you do? Hyanwoo asked. J-Min thought about it. I can fly. I can move through space without a ship. I can understand any language. I can heal injuries with my touch. I can connect with any computer system just by thinking about it. Show us. Jamin walked over to the main computer. Without touching it, the screen lit up with new information. Star charts, ship designs, weapon specifications. I'm uploading everything ZEUS knows into our systems, he said. We're going to need it. Why? What's coming? The Vexter are calling for help. They're bringing ships from all over the galaxy. Not just their own ships, but ships from every species that's afraid of us. Double quotes, Miran's face went pale. How many ships? 50,000. Maybe more. And we have what? A few hundred human ships. We have more than that now. Jamin walked to the window and looked out at space. As he watched, new ships began to appear. They were beautiful, made of the same golden light as the barrier. They looked like they were grown instead of built. ZEUS is making them, he said. One ship for every human who wants to fly. How many is that? About 2 million people have volunteered to be pilots. They're being changed right now. Not as much as the 15 of us, but enough to fly the new ships. Soyoung was staring at her readings. The energy output is unbelievable. It's like the entire planet has become a power source. Not just the planet, Jamin said. The sun too. ZEUS is drawing energy from the solar system itself. Over the next 2 days, Earth transformed. The volunteers who had been chosen as pilots came to the new ships. They were different now, but not as different as Jamin. They could think faster. They could react quicker. They could connect with their ships, like the ships were part of their bodies. The ships themselves were amazing. They were fast enough to cross the solar system in minutes. They were tough enough to survive hits from the biggest alien weapons. And they were armed with weapons that could destroy entire fleets. It's not just about the ships, Jamin explained to the command staff. It's about what we've become. We're not just humans anymore. We're something new. What are we? Miran asked. We're the next step. The Protectors were the guardians of the galaxy once. Now we are, but the Protectors were destroyed. Because they were alone. We won't be alone. What do you mean? Jamin smiled. ZEUS isn't just on Earth. The Protectors hid weapons like ZEUS on dozens of worlds. When those worlds see us fighting, they'll wake up too. Other species will join us. The species that are tired of being controlled. The species that want to be free. The species that the Vexter have kept as slaves. On the 3rd day, the enemy arrived. The Vextar fleet was massive. 50,000 ships of different sizes and shapes. Some were as big as cities. Others were small and fast. They came from all over the galaxy, united by their fear of humanity. They're demanding we surrender, the communication officer reported. What's their message? Surrender now and face quick death. Resist and face slow death. Admiral Moran looked at Jamin. Are we ready? We're ready. The battle began at the edge of the solar system. The human ships moved like schools of fish, flowing around the enemy attacks. The alien ships were bigger and more numerous, but they were slow and predictable. J-Min flew his ship into the center of the enemy formation. He could feel the other pilots with him, their minds connected through ZEUS. They moved as one, struck as one thought, as one. This is impossible, came a transmission from the enemy fleet. Humans cannot fight like this. We're not just humans anymore, Jamin replied. The battle raged for hours. The alien ships had more firepower, but the human ships were faster and smarter. Every time the aliens tried a new attack, the humans were ready for it. But there were so many enemy ships. Even with their new powers, the humans were outnumbered 25-1. We're losing, Miran said from the command center. No, Jamin said, we're winning. Watch. Across the galaxy, other worlds were waking up. The ZEUS weapons hidden on distant planets were activating. Species that had been enslaved for centuries were breaking free. The Kepler system is in revolt, Soyoung reported. The Vega colonies are fighting back. The Sirius trade routes are under attack. It's spreading, Jamin said. The revolution is spreading. In the battle around Earth, alien ships were starting to switch sides. Species that had been forced to fight for the Vexstar were turning their weapons against their former masters. This is Captain Nelthy, of the Aquatic Federation, came a transmission. We stand with the humans. We fight for freedom. This is Commander Yexstar of the Crystal Miners. We have been slaves too long. We joined the revolution. The tide of battle was turning. The Vexstar fleet was breaking apart as more and more species joined the humans. Retreat, came the order from the Vexstar flagship. All ships, retreat to the home system. But Jamin wasn't going to let them go. He could feel the power of ZEUS flowing through him. He could feel the hopes of every enslaved species in the galaxy. No more retreats, he said. No more hiding. Today we end this. The human fleet followed the retreating aliens, but they weren't alone. Ships from 100 different species joined them. The galaxy was rising up against its oppressors. The final battle will be at their home world, Jamin said. Are you ready? We're ready, came the reply from 2 million human pilots and 10 million alien allies. The war for the galaxy had begun, and humanity was no longer fighting alone. The Vexstar homeworld was a dark planet covered in metal cities and weapon factories. For 1,000 years, it had been the center of galactic oppression. Today, it would fall. J-Min floated in space above the planet, his body glowing with the power of ZEUS. Around him, the combined fleet of humans and freed alien species stretched across the star system. 2 million human ships, 10 million alien ships, all united by a single purpose, freedom. Are you ready? Admiral Miran asked through the communication link. As ready as anyone can be, Jamin replied, but he wasn't sure they were ready for what was coming. The Vexstar had one last weapon, something they had kept secret for centuries, something that could destroy entire star systems. ZEUS, he said silently. What is that thing on the planet's surface? It is called the World Killer, ZEUS replied. In his mind, the Vexstar built it from the bones of the first protector world they destroyed. It uses the life force of entire planets as ammunition. How do we stop it? We don't stop it, we transform it. Jamin didn't understand, but he trusted ZEUS. Over the past weeks, he had learned that ZEUS was more than just a weapon. It was a teacher, a guide, a parent, helping humanity grow up. All ships, this is Admiral Moran. Begin the final attack. The fleet moved forward like a wave of light. The Vexstar defenders rose to meet them. These weren't unwilling slaves forced to fight. These were the true believers, the ones who thought the galaxy belonged to them. The battle was fierce. Vexstar ships exploded in brilliant flashes. Human ships were destroyed by enemy fire. Alien allies fought and died beside their human friends. But slowly, surely, the combined fleet pushed forward. Jamin, came a voice he recognized. It was Dr. Soyoung speaking from Luna Base. The other volunteers are in position around the planet. Are you ready for the final transformation? What final transformation? The one ZEUS has been preparing. The 15 of you aren't just enhanced humans. You're seeds. Seeds for what? For the next stage of human evolution, and the next stage of galactic civilization. Jamin felt something changing inside him. The other 14 volunteers were feeling it too. They were spread around the Vexstar planet, each one glowing brighter than before. What's happening to us? You're becoming bridges, ZEUS explained. Bridges between what humanity was and what it can become, bridges between Earth and the galaxy, bridges between war and peace. The world killer on the planet's surface was charging up. It was a massive tower that reached into space, covered in weapon systems that could destroy stars. It's preparing to fire, Soyoung warned. If it shoots, it will destroy half our fleet. Then we won't let it shoot, Jamin said. He flew toward the world killer, his body burning with golden light. The other volunteers did the same. They came from all directions. 15 points of light converging on the dark tower. Stop, came a voice from the planet. It was Zekmer, the Vexstar commander who had trapped Earth 30 years ago. You don't understand what you're doing. We understand perfectly, Jamin replied. We're ending your reign of terror. If you destroy the world killer, you'll destroy the planet. Billions of Vexstar will die. We're not going to destroy it. We're going to change it. The 15 volunteers reached the world killer at the same time. They placed their hands on its surface and felt the ancient technology respond to their touch. This tower was built from protector technology, ZEUS explained. It was meant to defend worlds, not destroy them. The Vexstar corrupted it. Now we will restore it. Power flowed through the volunteers and into the world killer. The dark metal began to glow. The weapon systems shut down. The tower started to change, growing taller and brighter. What are you doing? Beckmer demanded. We're giving you a choice, Jamin said. The same choice ZEUS gave us. The tower was transforming into something beautiful. Instead of weapons, it now had gardens. Instead of armor, it had windows. Instead of fear, it radiated hope. You can join us, Jamin continued. You can become part of the new galaxy, or you can stay as you are and be left behind. Join you. Join inferior species. We're not inferior anymore, and neither are you. If you choose to grow, the transformation of the world killer was complete. Now it was sending out waves of energy that touched every Vexstar on the planet. The same energy that had changed the human volunteers. The same energy that had freed the enslaved species. You're changing us against our will, Beckmer shouted. No, Jamin said, we're offering you the choice. Accept the change and become something better. Refuse it and stay as you are. Across the planet, individual Vexstar were making their decisions. Some chose to change. Their bodies began to glow with gentle light. Their minds opened to new possibilities. Their hearts learned to feel compassion. Others refused. They stayed in their dark cities, clinging to their old ways. This is what freedom looks like, Jamin said, the freedom to choose your own path. The battle in space had stopped. Ships from both sides were watching the transformation of the world killer. Many alien species had never seen anything like it. Is it over? Admiral Marin asked. The war is over, Jamin replied, but the real work is just beginning. Over the following months, the galaxy began to change. The Vexstar Empire crumbled as more and more of their people chose transformation. The enslaved species were freed and given their own worlds to govern. The 15 human volunteers became the new guardians of the galaxy. They traveled from world to world, offering the same choice that ZEUS had given Earth. Some species accepted, others refused. All were allowed to choose freely. We're not conquerors, Jamin explained to a council of alien leaders. We're gardeners. We plant seeds of change and let them grow naturally. Dr. Soyoung, now serving as Earth's ambassador to the galaxy, nodded in agreement. The age of empires is over. The age of cooperation has begun. Commander Hyanwu, still commanding Earth's defenses, but now protecting the whole galaxy, smiled. Who would have thought that being trapped would lead to this? ZEUS knew, Admiral Miran said. ZEUS always knew. Years passed. The galaxy prospered. New species joined the Federation of Free Worlds. Old enemies became friends. The Dark Age of oppression was replaced by an age of exploration and growth. On Earth, children learned about the time when their world was trapped behind a barrier. They learned about the choice their ancestors had made. They learned about the responsibility that came with great power. What would you have chosen? A teacher asked her students. The same thing, they replied. We would have chosen to grow. Jamin, now more energy than flesh, watched over the galaxy from his station between the stars. He could feel every world, every species, every individual making their own choices about how to live. Are you proud of what we've become? He asked ZEUS. I am proud of what you're becoming, ZEUS replied. The journey has only just begun. Far at the edge of the galaxy, new signals were being detected. Other galaxies, other species, other challenges. Ready for the next adventure? Jamin asked the other guardians. Always, they replied. The humans who had once been trapped behind a barrier were now the protectors of countless worlds. They had learned that the greatest power wasn't the ability to destroy, but the ability to choose. And they had chosen to become something better. The galaxy was safe. The future was bright. And humanity had finally found its place among the stars. Not as conquerors, but as guardians. Not as rulers, but as friends. Not as the end of the story, but as the beginning of something even greater. The age of ZEUS had begun.